Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of The Pull...
Beyond the Pull List.
Beyond the Pull List. Sorry,
There?
I've already forgot what the title was.
I'm one of your hosts, Paul Fine. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you guys for the first time on this new podcast.
And I am Clayton Huff. I am your other host for this series. And we're super excited to get this started.
We're super excited. We decided we both have our own separate podcasts. We'll get into that later, but we wanted to do a comic book podcast. There's not a lot of people in either of our friend groups who are super big into comics, and me and Clayton have been into comics for
A long time.
Yeah, a long time. Almost 10 years, maybe. Collecting, at least like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I get
We're already
We're off to a bad start.
We're already off to the butcher. We're butchering this sucker.
But we've been into comics for a very long time, and a couple weeks back, I reached out to Clayton and I was like, "Hey, like we're both kind of on the pull list of things. Let's review comics that come out, because there's a lot of talk in this industry right now on good things that are coming out, bad things that are coming out. You've got Absolute Batman, you've got Ultimate Spider-Man, you've got there's so many books going on right now that we really just want to talk about and give our opinions. But before we get into this show, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'll introduce myself real quick. Again, my name is Clayton, and I currently host the Isaiah 43 podcast. It's a Bible-based podcast where I kind of go through different teachings. It's from a Reformed Baptist perspective. And right now I'm currently going through the Gospel of John. I really enjoy doing that podcast. We also have on that same podcast, we've got the Heidelberg Catechism in a Year podcast that I do. And from there, we're kind of going through the core teachings of the Christian faith and what have we held on to for centuries. And those episodes come out every Friday and every Sunday. Paul, you want to tell them a little bit about you?
Yeah, so I am a local filmmaker. I do movies and stuff, and I just had my first big movie release a couple months back, I guess almost a year ago now. Or no, sorry, October's when it released. But I also have a podcast. Me and my other co-hosts, I have 2 other co-hosts, John Clark Bull and Justin Simmerly. We host the Real Takes podcast, which is a movie review podcast from the filmmaker's perspective. Since we all 3 make movies all the time and we do our own little thing, we wanted to kind of we wanted to look at these movies that we grew up watching and how the art of those films have inspired us to put things into our films. So we do good, we do bad, we do all kinds of stuff, and we're getting ready to start season 3. Season 3 is on its way. Hopefully going to be out sometime. I think we're going to start recording in the middle of March. So hopefully by the end of March you will have those episodes. Our episodes release every Friday. So and we're everywhere that you can find podcasts.
Nice. So why don't we tell people how we met? Because if we're going to be talking about comics and we're going to be talking about here's what you should be reading, people aren't going to listen to somebody who's never read comic books or who maybe never worked in a comic book store.
We did that. We did do that. So, yes, we're not just 2 people that just sat down at the table and are just talking like we know each other and we love each other. We definitely do know each other and we do love each other. We grew up in high school. We didn't go to the same high school or anything, but we both shopped at the same comic book store. Our local comic book store locally where we both live is called Mountain Empire Comics.
Shout out to them because they're awesome.
Diana and John, God rest his soul.
And Ulfie. We can't forget Ulfie.
Can't forget Ulfie.
They all have been they have been such a big part of mine and Clayton's life for a long time. When I was in high school, I used to go in there all the time, and I would just sit in there for hours and talk and just chit chat with Derek about all the new stuff coming out and all the new books dropping. And one day he asked me, he said, "Hey, would you ever want to work here? Like, would you ever want to have a little job here?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, and I had to get community service hours for high school anyway, so they didn't really have to pay me, and it just kind of worked. I was doing something I really wanted to do. I was getting to read more comics and kind of be in the scene more. And I was also doing something for school to help me graduate. So it worked out very well. And then Clayton,
I came in and I was kind of in the same boat. I needed some community service hours for school for a scholarship. And I shopped at the comic book store. I've been shopping at the comic book store man, I was going there when I was in like kindergarten. We had this program
Yeah.
where like if you made straight A's on your report card, you had like this little free card and you could go to the comic book store.
Oh wait, seriously? I didn't.
Yeah.
They did that.
Awesome. And so I was going there. I was buying like comics. I didn't start collecting until I was like 13, but I was going consistently at that point. And
Right.
anyways, it was my freshman year of college, and I had a scholarship. And in order to maintain that scholarship, I needed so many hours. And I just thought, I love going to the comic book store. I love talking about comics, and I really don't have anybody to talk about comics with.
Yeah.
So I went there and I asked, "Hey, can I work here for a little bit? Or like, do you have some? I could just help out. I don't have to like get paid. I just need these hours."
Yeah.
And well, we met kind of working there, and that was a lot of fun times. We had some good memories.
We had some awesome memories at this comic book store. We both worked there. We got acquainted really well. I was a little hesitant when I first met Clayton because I thought he was going to steal my job because I'd never had a job before. So I was like, my brain was like, oh, this guy, like I have to be better than him because he's going to take my job
that I'm not getting paid for.
But once we really started talking, I finally was like, Paul, quit being an ass. Like, be nice to this guy. And we became really good friends really quick. And we both had the same interests, and we both loved Spider-Man, and we both had our differences in what we like in comic books, but we would sit there and organize comics and just talk for hours, and it was so much fun, and it's an experience that we'll never get to relive, but gosh, it was awesome.
It was awesome, man.
So great.
And we have like so many inside jokes now from working there.
We do.
There's the fish police.
The fish police, that's the best. Is that Marvel? Is it?
I honestly don't know, but so a little bit of a story real quick behind that while Paul looks that up is the previous comic book store owner, John, who has passed away, as Paul mentioned earlier. He had ordered multiple copies of this book, this so obscure book. Like I think they ended up saying there was like 100 copies or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we just had this joke back and forth that in each other's pull list, we would just put a copy of Fish Police in there. And it was just a mess with each other, but it was so fun. And it was also right around the time of Action Comics 1000.
Oh yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 800.
800 was huge.
What else was it? Batman Damned.
Batman Damned. Oh, I still kick myself in the butt because I didn't buy that dang book, man. Were you there? I like you were there.
I was there.
Did you get one?
I did not get one.
We funny real quick side tangent. That book came out, and I remember we had extra copies, and Derek was like, "Hey Paul, like we've got extra Batman Damned. If you want one, get one." And I was like, "Oh, that's okay." I was like, "I'm not, I'd rather let someone else have it who will enjoy the book. I would just be buying it just for the sake of buying it." And of course, it's a $600 book now, and you can't even touch it. So, like, pick myself in the butt 10 times over, just because it's got his back Wayne in it.
Right.
Whatever. But yeah, we there was a lot of stuff going on, and we had Fish Police, and we went in the basement and we found stacks of them,
Mm-hmm.
and we would throw them back and forth. And I actually just looked up here. There's a copy of Fish Police in a 9.0 CGC grade selling for $50. That's funny. It's by the company Fish Rat Productions.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna change my film name to that, because that's great.
Maybe we get a sponsor if they're still around.
Dirt Rat Productions. If you're still popping out Fish Police comics, can you sponsor us? We'll advertise that so good. But one of the other people who worked there, Melissa, she had been like, "Hey, have you seen Fish Police?" And that's how we got into this gag. And we were throwing the books back and forth. And I throw Clayton loves Captain America, so I would throw Hydra Cap. He hates Hydra Cap.
The worst run ever.
I would throw that in his box all the time. And then finally, Diana just got so tired of us doing this gag that she took all of them in a pile and threw them in the trash and threw all of those Fish Polices away. But we ended up finding another one. And so we saved it for Christmas, and everybody who was in on the gag, which at that point, there was like 10 of us, and we all signed it and framed it and gave it to her for Christmas. And it's still in the store to this day.
It is. So if you ever visit Mountain Empire Comics,
ask for Fish Police. They might, I might talk to them and be like, "Hey, discount code, however much % off." If you walk in there and say Fish Police, the podcast that you hear, Fish Police.
the next time you walk in there, they're gonna ban you.
I'm gonna walk in and go, Fish Police, Fish Police, Fish Police.
They're gonna prevent you from coming in.
Give me a discount, please. I'm buying all these variants. I need to afford this.
So let's also explain how this podcast is going to work.
Yes, so we have
Got a little system going now. This isn't we both have we both have jobs and we both have podcasts that we are more we're more focused on, but this is kind of our
This is fun.
yeah, this is our mid-fun podcast. This is like, hey, we want to get together. We both do podcasts. Like, let's do something that's fun, that there's not that much high stakes on. We just want to get together and do something fun. So the way this is going to work is we both have separate pull lists. Now, we have some things on each of our pull lists that we're both pulling. So like this week, for example, on both of our pull lists is Ultimate Spider-Man, the new Ultimate Spider-Man, and Absolute Batman. And then we both also have separate things, like I have Venom on my pull list and you have Captain America, Superman. And so what we're going to do is we're going to spend the first portion of our podcast reviewing our books that we collectively pull together. And then we'll kind of break off and do a little like rapid review on what I pull and then on what he pulls, and just kind of keep everyone updated on how these books that we like are going, and kind of what's something that's hot, and if it's really hot, we might both just start picking it up and reading it too. And then we've also got our rating. So we are going to do a cool little rating thing that can change. It can change depending on how the books come out, because some books will start really good, as we're going to talk today. Some books start really good and then just get worse and worse. So we have 3 rankings. We have off the pull list, which means this book is terrible. I hate this. Like, I'm not even enjoying this. This is a book that I would take off of my pull list. Then we have on the pull list, which is a book that's like, this isn't a bad book. If you want to read something fun and you want to stay consistent and just kind of, you're here for a good story, put this book on it. Then, as our title says, beyond the pull list, which is like some books are so good that you want to buy all the variants and you want to buy the action figures and you want to buy the t-shirts and the posters and all this, that, and the other. So those will be our beyond the pull list books, and those are going to be our highest recommended books. And that's how we're going to do it. So we definitely have some books to start off with. We've been dying to talk about this.
Well, hold on. Okay, before we get there.
Okay.
Do you want to tell our audience what books are you pulling right now?
Yes. So my books that I'm pulling right now, actually you go first. I've been talking a lot more than
sure. No, yeah, no problem. So the books that I'm pulling right now, obviously, as Paul's already mentioned, I'm pulling Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm pulling Absolute Batman. Action Comics. Actually, I take that back. I just dropped Action Comics.
You just dropped that?
I did just drop Action Comics, which is kind of surprising because Mark Waid is one of my favorite writers. He's writing it, and I just didn't like it. So I didn't like it, so I dropped it. It was off the pull list.
It's off the pull list.
Yep.
It's already starting good.
We're
Off
already
the pull
starting
list.
good.
Yeah.
I'm reading Superman,
Okay.
Captain America,
Okay.
and I'm trying to think if I'm then reading anything else. I might hop on Weapons of Armageddon by Chip Zdarsky. He's currently writing that.
Okay.
I kind of skimmed through the first issue. Looks pretty good, so I may hop on that.
Mhm.
But right now, those are my main ones. I've got Superman, Captain America, and I think everything else is dropped already.
Okay.
Superman, Captain America, and Ultimate Spider-Man ended. Absolute Batman.
Absolute Batman's still ongoing. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's everything I'm reading right now.
So me right now, I'm in the same boat. So I'm on the pull for Absolute Batman. I'm on the pull for Ultimate Spider-Man, but I guess not anymore because it just ended. Yeah. Today we're recording this on Wednesday of Absolute Batman 17's release and Ultimate Spider-Man 24's release. So we're going to be talking about the ending of that and how crazy it's been. And I'm also on the pull list for Venom, which I'm a big. First of all, let me be very specific on this. I am a humongous Venom fan. Venom is my I want to say it's your Superman, but I feel like Superman's not your favorite. Spider-Man's your favorite.
Spider-Man's my all-time favorite, but that's because Spider-Man holds a special place in my heart. Spider-Man is the character that, getting bullied and growing up. That's the character that I related to.
Right, me too.
But I don't want to say I outgrew the character because he's always got that special place in my heart.
Right.
But I would honestly say like Superman is my favorite, but Spider-Man's in a whole different league.
He's in a different. But like right now, your favorite is
Superman.
Yeah. So yeah, Venom is my Superman to Clayton.
Mhm.
Is my whatever. And so I'm reading it right now. You're very much going to hear me. We're definitely going to talk about that today. because it's bad.
And
I was on Carnage, but Carnage ended very abruptly, so I'm not on Carnage anymore. And Spider-Man Death Spiral is about to start, which is a Venom and the Amazing Spider-Man crossover. I'm not on the Amazing Spider-Man, just because I know there's a lot going on with it, and Zeb Wells' run turned out to be really bad, as a lot of you comic fans probably already know. So I'm pretty sure that's all I'm on right now.
Now, I do want to make a quick note. I read a lot of stuff on like DC Infinite and Marvel Unlimited. So I'm not pulling those books per se, but I am reading them, like Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Flash, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I am reading other books. I'm just not pulling them.
Yeah, right. And it's that's a weight as well, because there's a lot of stuff coming out, and it's you want to take risks on things. You want to take risks on books, but at the same time you don't want to, because I've been there where you start pulling those books and then you're like, oh, I wish I never bought all this. Right. So but are we ready?
Let's get into it. So let's get in.
We both stayed up super late. I have been really bad about reading comic books recently. I have been buy my books regularly, very regularly, but also like I set them to the side and then I just like, oh, I'll read them, and then I never do. So I was up till 4 a.m. reading Ultimate Spider-Man. I stopped reading it a while back at issue 15, so I had to read 16 up to 24 last night, and you had to read 19.
19 through 24, yep. Because I do the same thing.
Right, and we both immediately had a lot of stuff. And I called Clayton this morning to be like, hey, we were talking about getting back on the show and getting it started. And the big thing we talked about was yeah, I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Like, one book that we both review is really good, but the other one is I don't know. And we kept like trying to not tell each other which book we didn't like, but it got to the point where I was like, it's Ultimate Spider-Man, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, it's Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this. I think this book started really good, and we're going to review this one as a series, since the series finale just was today, and I think it's good to just go ahead and talk about this as a whole series. The first 3 to 4 issues were solid.
Oh yeah,
it had a great start. We both grew up reading the original Ultimate Spider-Man, which is one of my favorite Spider-Man runs of all time, and this run started really good. You've got an older Peter Parker. He's married to Mary Jane, and they have children.
Yeah.
What every Spider-Man fan has ever dreamed of, all we've dreamed of is getting to see Peter with a family. That's all we've ever wanted, but Marvel editorial just won't let that happen. This is fine, whatever. And so we got that with this book, and getting to see a Peter Parker who never got bit by that spider, because the maker remade the Ultimate Universe and stopped all these heroes from getting their powers.
Right.
So a futuristic Tony Stark comes in and he gives Peter Parker this ball that opens up and it has the spider in it. He gets bit, gets his powers, and also gets a cool black suit. And we go through this story, starting to follow Peter, but then going and following everybody else.
Yep. Yeah, man, you're exactly right. Like, it started off so strong. I honestly thought, like, this is probably going to turn into one of the greatest stories of comics in maybe the last 10 years.
And it was a top seller.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, you got Jonathan Hickman, one of the best writers in comics. You've got Marco Cicchetto, the artist.
His art is so good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like you have an all-star, perfect dream team right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have such high hopes for this book.
Yeah.
And then you get into the B plots with Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Because in this storyline, Aunt May is the one who dies, not Ben. And so you get into the B plot with Ben and J. Jonah Jameson. And dude, I'm just going to say it sucks.
Yeah.
It turned into like a garbage story. The last good issue, I want to say, is what, 15? It's where they kind of go off.
Is it with Sandman?
With Sandman?
I think it was 15.
That was the last good issue. Everything after that, when I was trying to get caught up last night, I looked at my wife and I said, this is garbage. I mean, I really did. But she's like, why? I'm like, a good comic. I'm not asking for, like, I'm knuckleheaded, I'm drool running down my face, or action all the time.
Right, yeah.
But I'm not reading a book. I'm reading a comic book. Like, let me have some action. Let me have something that, like, I'm interested in. This is the first Spider-Man book I think I've ever read that I was like, I honestly don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
I think that was my point of view as well, especially because, we read from 16 to 24. I read from 16 to 24, but we both covered a lot. There's a lot of issues in this run where it's just conversation. They take a whole single issue, and the whole issue is just everybody's sitting at a table and we're all talking about this thing, and then that's the issue. And then the next issue is like, it felt like if you've ever watched a movie, there's always those scenes where it's like, okay, we need to give you a little bit of info of what's going on so we can get into the next big thing. It feels like there's more of that scene in this book than there is action scenes. Because I got to issue, I think it was 18, or maybe it was 17. It was one of them, and I hit this point of like, when am I going to see Spider-Man fight somebody?
When am I just going to see Spider-Man?
Yeah, when am I going to see Spider-Man? Because he's barely in this thing.
Yeah.
This is Ultimate Spider-Man. I at halfway through, I was like, oh, I'm reading Ultimate Gwen Stacy. Because it gets into this whole side plot of you get Mysterio. There's this council of Mysterios,
Which is a cool concept.
yeah, but at the same time, it's all just like, okay, we're gonna give you the info for this, and we're gonna give you the info for this, and here's the info for this, and you're hearing about things that are taking place that you would like to see, but you're not seeing any of it.
Right.
And my biggest thing with this book was when I finally got to issue 19, that it had the coolest start ever. Like, it opens up. Peter in this universe has a son and a daughter, Richard and May. Is it Mary?
I think it's May.
It's May. Okay, yeah, Richard and May. And Richard ends up. Peter takes the suit that he was given in those first issues, that really sick black suit I was talking about, is this universe's symbiote, but it's an AI suit. It's not like an alien, or we don't know. It might be, but it's more.
There's never explained.
It's never explained. Yeah, and it's more AI. And Peter decides to take it off and give himself a cloth costume, and Richard ends up taking the black suit, and he ends up wearing it and becoming a Venom Spider-Man, almost like Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Sort of. And in this issue, they had this really great scene where he's dating Black Cat.
Richard is, not Peter.
Yeah, Richard is dating Black Cat, who's also like a teenager. I think she's like older than him. It seems.
I think he's like what, like this 14, 15, and she's like 16, 17.
Yeah. And sorry. I always have to do that every time. I'm brain rotted so bad. But there's this great part of the story where it opens and Richard is panicking because Kingpin's there, and all these guys are about to kill him. To get this information on who Spider-Man is. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And the suit is like, Richard, do you want me to step in? And he's like, yes. And then he goes, okay, cover your eyes and don't open them until I say so. And then he venoms out and kills everybody in this room. And you see that, and then it's just back to conversations for the rest of the issue. And then you get this, you find out later that like, oh yeah, well, my parents found out that happened and that I raged out, but they grounded me. And that's all you don't, but you see it. Like there's no moments in the book where you're flipping and you actually see that scene happen, or it's just, yeah.
So that gets to what I think is what this book really suffers from. So comics come out every month, most comics anyways. And so what they were trying to do with Ultimate Spider-Man is that each issue is a different month.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that is where this book suffers.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because there's events that they reference, like what you're talking about. Oh, my parents found out that my symbiote just beat the crap out of all these people.
Right.
Well, we don't see that because an entire 30 days likely has passed since the last book.
Yeah.
The only one that does not have a time jump is 23 and 24. But everything else has a month time jump, and that hurts this book so bad.
Yeah, because I found moments where I'd get into the next issue and it would be a month later, but then it would go back in time a month to show this part of the story again, but then go forward. So you're going forward and back in time consistently, which gets confusing.
Right.
And yeah.
You know, here's another thing that I was thinking about that I have a problem with this book. So Harry Osborn has the Green Goblin suit, and his AI in the suit is his dad.
Yes.
And, for the first couple issues, you're thinking, oh, well, maybe Norman is going to take over the suit. Maybe Harry's going to go insane. He's going to turn against, it's like they're building these things.
Mhm.
And then that is not brought up again. Probably, I don't know, I'd say like the early teens issues.
Yeah.
Until issue 24.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing in there that ever indicates Harry could go bad. Oh yeah, hey, I totally forgot about it until I read issue 24 that his AI was Norman.
I forgot too. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's like you're setting something up. And I was telling you earlier, what I read somebody's comments when I was reading on League of Comic Geeks, the community there, I saw that somebody said that this book feels like a first arc.
Yeah.
If it wasn't ending here, then you have potential for a really great story. But it ended here, and you have the month gap. It doesn't feel complete.
Right.
And we've talked about it before. I think that has a lot to do with Marvel editorial.
Yeah.
I don't think that has a lot to do with Jonathan Hickman or Marco Fichetto or Paco Medina, who also worked on the art for this book. I don't think it has to do with any of those people.
Right.
And I think it boils down to Marvel editorial. I think the Ultimate Universe, what I have read, is no. I'm not saying the original Ultimate Universe is perfect by any means.
Right.
It has its flaws, but I'm not saying this one is much better.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, and it like going back to the AI Norman, right? There's so many moments in this book where he's donning the costume,
Right.
because Harry fake dies.
Right.
He dies, but then he's still alive. But then he comes back, and he that doesn't last very long.
Right.
And when he comes back, he's wearing the suit, and his dad is just insulting him.
Yeah.
His dad is just being the oh, you're such a sorry excuse of a son, and it makes me sick how worthless you are. And it's like, who wants just turn it off?
Right. It's an AI.
It's an AI. Just be like, oh, AI dad, you suck. It's like, I'm turning you off, and just and literally be done with it.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm gonna give this book just a little bit of credit. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's good by any means, but reading it, I was definitely able to stay intrigued more than I have been. But at the same time, it's just like, I want to read a Spider-Man book. I don't want to read a book about all of Spider-Man's side characters with no Spider-Man in it.
Right.
And it definitely feels like, also referring to editorial, it feels like editorial really shortened Jonathan Hickman's time on this book.
Which they have a bad problem with doing.
They do have a bad problem. There's actually history of them doing that with Jonathan before, and it feels like it hit one point of this book where it's like he's more focused on, when you're reading a comic, it's like playing in a sandbox. You play with your main character is your main toy, and you're going through all this stuff. It feels like Jonathan is sitting there with you, showing you all of the other characters that you're supposed to play with. And that are supposed to interact with your character, but you don't have your character.
That's a good analogy.
And it's very much like, there's so many moments where I'm like, where's Spider-Man? Where's Peter? Why am I not seeing Peter? Why am I seeing everybody else but Spider-Man? And it's telling all of these origin stories very rapidly, and it's just like, I don't care about Mr. Negative right now.
Nope.
I don't really I don't really care about Mole Man. I don't care about, there's a lot of,
How do you care about the bullseyes?
I don't care about the bullseyes. Yeah, the bullseyes are just so, it's nothing to me. It's not important.
Yeah.
I want to see this new Spider-Man
Right.
that I've been waiting to see for a very long time.
Especially as we had the Ultimate Spider-Man, as you mentioned, with Brian Michael Bendis, Mark Bagley. Like, that was incredible.
Yeah.
And for us at that age, like, that's why Spider-Man related to us.
Yeah.
But now we're older, and we're probably closer to Peter Parker's age in this than we.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we want to see, how does an adult Spider-Man with more responsibilities deal with life?
And different responsibilities.
Yeah, and different responsibilities.
And he's got more grief. He's older, and also, they really, in the first issues of this book, really planted that Peter doesn't know what his purpose is.
Right.
Because he never had powers.
Right.
And then when he becomes Spider-Man, he's kind of starting to figure that out. But again, it's not touched upon.
Right.
It's left in the dust. And I'm glad you mentioned the our age range, because up in Knoxville, I work in Knoxville, so I visit those local comic book stores a lot. And Nirvana Comics in Knoxville. Shout out to them. They're a really awesome store, and the owner, his name is McKay. I had talked to him, and I was like, hey, so I what do you think about this book? And he was like, I love it. I think it's the best book ever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I really want to know why. I'm curious, and no judgment. I just want to know why you like this book. And he proceeded to tell me like, well, this book, it relates to me because he's in his, I would say his 50s, okay, maybe 60s, anywhere from 40 to 60, sure. And he said, this relates to me being an adult. And he's like, I really feel like, this is going to pave the way like the original Ultimate book did for Miles, but it's going to pave the way for Richard. And he's like, I just feel like, I'm seeing the family dynamics and like all this stuff and the way everything, and I'm relating to that. And I tried to keep that in mind while reading it last night, because I had told him, I was like, I'm going to take another shot at the book and I'm going to keep that in mind because, I want to like these things. And and maybe, I'm 24, so I'm not like, older or anything.
Right.
And like, I kept that in mind, and still it's just like, but where's Peter?
Right.
How am I supposed to envision myself in this situation as an older person without the main character? Like all I'm seeing is everybody else's world without Peter.
Right.
And even like Richard, like I'm glad that he's doing his own thing as Venom, but his whole story was just him sneaking out to do something stupid.
Right.
And it's like, what is Peter doing? How is Peter handling this? How is Peter dealing with this kid who's making not the smartest decisions? And he's, working with Black Cat, who's betraying him and all this stuff. And also he's got this thing on him that becomes murderous. I want to see Peter deal with these problems. And, like even towards the end, especially like closer to issue 24, we're really starting to get into more stuff with MJ and her questioning this marriage.
Out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere. And I was just like, oh no, editorial is going to want to make them divorce again. No, please. And it just, I don't know, man.
We've talked about it before. We talked about it before issue 24 came out.
Yep.
We were talking what we would really like to see, because we hadn't read these issues, like you said, we had read them late last night.
Right.
So what we were kind of hoping for, in a way, was Richard kind of going his own way and being like, Dad, maybe not in this sense, but Dad, you don't put down the criminals, but I can with this suit. I can do things better with this suit.
That would have been awesome.
And Peter having to be like, there's a reason why we do this.
Yeah.
The way that we do it. And they tried to in issue 24.
Yeah.
When Harry was like, how do you stay sane, basically, while you do this?
Yeah.
And Peter gave some goofy response, I felt like.
Yeah, it did feel like it was as tough as they were trying to make it to be.
Right. It wasn't emotional, didn't hit. But if it was Richard, on the other hand, who was like, we can make this world better and I can do it better than you could.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he needs to be rebellious. He's doing it because he's like, I love you, Dad.
Yeah.
But I can do this better than you.
Right. And also he's impressionable. He's a
teenager. Exactly.
And something I think we covered this reminded me of that. The suit is AI.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things about AI that we know about, is that AI is taking over the world, and it's not trying to it's trying to fix the world, right? And like, if everyone's seen those videos of like, hey, the robot was talking about the end of the world and how humans are causing the end of the world, blah 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 blah. What if this AI was doing that?
Right.
Like, Richard, you and me can fix these things.
Mm-hmm.
We can fix these humans who are making these dumb mistakes, and you and me can do that. And impressioning him,
Right.
and like making him think that these are the things to save the world.
Right.
And like, again, that's that opportunity that's been missed. And it's just...
So I have two more things I want to bring up real quick.
Mhm.
So one thing that I think is absolutely ridiculous and was not needed in this book at all was Otto Octavius becoming Superior Spider-Man for one single issue. Again, out of absolutely nowhere, other than to give us a little cameo, a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
That was out of nowhere. I hated that. Stupid.
It was very unnecessary.
But the other thing I want to bring up is something that we've kind of been talking about, and it's relatability. And I'm not intentionally using this as a segue into our next book, but maybe a little bit.
It's okay.
We're talking about Ultimate Spider-Man, and we want him to be relatable because that's how Spider-Man was for us growing up.
Right.
And this Spider-Man doesn't feel relatable.
Mhm.
But in a strange way, arguably who I would say one of the most unrelatable characters of all time is Batman.
Yeah.
Batman is rich. He is this perfect body. He has money. He can do whatever he wants to do. Basically, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
But Absolute Batman kind of flips that on its head. And see, that's the thing. Like Ultimate Spider-Man and Absolute Batman, they're not main canon universe.
No.
They're, and our comic fans listening, I'm sure they know that.
Mhm.
But so they're different takes on these characters. And Absolute Batman is a working man. Sure, we might not be 500 pounds and 7 feet tall,
Right.
but
Right.
he works for a living.
Yeah.
You know, he is a more relatable character, as strange as that is to today,
Very. Yeah. No, I get that.
rather than Ultimate Spider-Man.
And also, he's 24, which is that's all I.
Right.
So like I see when I read Absolute Batman, I'm like, this dude is the same age as me, and I'm a wimp compared to this guy.
I'm not 500 pounds and 7 feet tall.
He's so much better than me. I gotta do something.
But yeah, I think this is a good segue into Absolute Batman. Absolute Batman has been phenomenal. I actually, funny enough, Clayton got me into it. I'm not a DC person. I've never really read a lot. I've read some DC. I have some of my favorite stories. I see Arkham Asylum, a Serious House on a Serious Earth is one of my favorite stories, and I like the more darker. I love dark stories.
And you've played like the games and watched the movies.
I've watched them. I've watched all the DC movies. I've played all the Arkham games. You know, I really enjoyed those books, but the comics has just never been a me thing. And I went to the comic book store, and Venom was actually coming out, and I was like, I really don't want to buy this book. I was like, I'm so like, I don't want to buy this book. And Clayton goes, well, what's something else that you'd want to read? I was like, everything sucks. I was like, Ultimate Spider-Man sucks. Venom sucks. Carnage just ended. Everything sucks. I don't know what I want to read. And Clayton goes, well, is there anything on DC that you'd want to read? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a DC person. He's like, well, what's one thing that kind of piques your interest? I was like, Absolute Batman was pretty cool. And Derek hooked me up with the hardcover volume 1, and I read through it. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Well, let me give it a little bit of backstory here too, because I'm not a Batman fan either.
Yeah.
I'm a Superman fan. I love my characters to be hopeful, bright, optimistic. I don't care much for Batman. Now, that has changed these past few months. I've been diving into more Batman content. So like I do enjoy Batman like a little bit more now than what I did. But when I first read Absolute Batman, I'm like, I hate Batman.
Yeah.
I don't want to read about the stupid superhero who everybody basically is Bat God. You know, he can just beat everybody. But then I read Absolute Batman. I'm like, holy cow, Batman.
Holy guacamole, Batman.
Right.
Holy absolute.
This is good. It's insane. And each issue keeps getting better.
Yeah. Yeah, each issue, like I read this book, and I had the same mindset as you, and there was these moments of just like, you see some of the villains and the way it builds everything up, and Batman, like, he loses. He does lose. He loses, and he is like, this universe sucks for Batman.
Right.
Like, I'm sure you've seen all the hosts on social media. A lot of people, I don't know if you know because you're not on social media as much, but like, a lot of people are posting all these things of like, okay, Batman, you want to see all the villains you're up against? And it shows all the villains, and he's like, bro, stop. But he's like, yeah, you haven't seen Let me show you Joker. And he's like, oh, you know, but I'm not a priest. Essentially, like, I would see all those, and I was like, okay, like, that was cool. But then when I saw Absolute Joker, that's what really piqued my interest, because he's a brute mod. Yeah. But reading this book, like, it's just, something that Alfred says, which, first of all, the first introduction in the book is Alfred. Right. And instead of being the butler that he's a freaking mercenary.
Yeah.
And like, that's already crazy. But Batman is always prepared for every situation, which is cool, because that's it in this universe. But also, this feels more like he's really like on this. Yeah. Like, he's very passionate about this. And in this universe, Bruce Wayne only lost his father. He didn't lose his mother, which is we're also seeing, I had seen that Ultimate Spider-Man a little bit, but he lost his father in a zoo in a shooting. And his dad got shot, and he died. But throughout the book, you get all these insights and these past stories of like Bruce's skills and how smart he is. You know, like, one of his projects, actually the project that got them to go to the zoo that day where his father got shot, was he had to build a bridge using with inspiration of an animal. Right. So he built a bridge almost like a bat.
Right.
And that bridge was such a great, it was a really good design that it won them the trip to the zoo, which got his father killed. But going through the book, you see all these moments of these villains and how just evil they are. I mean, Black Mask is controlling everything, and then you get Bane.
Bane, man.
Bane was awesome, dude. Like that was. I remember when we both read issue 14. You read it a little bit after me because I read it, and then I think. When I came over for Friendsgiving, is that when did I pique your interest in reading?
I think so, because you were talking about it a lot, and I was like, yeah, because I was reading Absolute Batman, but I guess kind of same thing with Ultimate Spider-Man. I just kind of putting it away. Really, it was like whatever, you know. But then you were talking about, man, you got to read it. Like Bane just did blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, and I read issue 14, and I was like. There's not many comic books that sometimes you read a comic book, right, and you, not saying you forget it, but you just kind of put it out of mind.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. That happened. Yeah.
Right. Issue 14 of Absolute Batman, like that was one I thought about like all day. Like this is the epitome of what a comic book should be.
Yeah, no, it was just everybody was there, and Bane was there, and Batman. It was so good. And so far, my favorite issue in the series is issue 10, where he goes to Arc M. Which now, did you read the Arc M tie-up?
I have not. That was the one I was gonna read. But there, I do want to talk to you about the annual.
Yes,
the controversial annual.
The controversial annual. That's definitely something we should talk about. But real quick before we get good. But like he's in Arc M, and the whole story of Arc M is crazy. Whenever I'm gonna wait for him to read it, and then we can talk about it then on the next episode.
Yeah.
Because it's so oh my gosh, it's so dark. But like you see all the different rooms where all these people are being made, and you walk into the Poison Ivy room, and you see one of, like, at the time people thought it was Poison Ivy,
right,
but turns out as today we're going to talk about how we know what Poison Ivy actually is. But like she was this disgusting monster thing, and then we see Clay, Klay, and it's just a bunch of limbs in this big like pool almost, and it's like, help me, everything hurts, and it's like grabbing Bruce, and it's just
and the whole issue of issue 10, Bruce is trying to escape Arc M.
Yeah, and he's been held prisoner there for
for a while,
like a long time, months, and he's been injected with the venom that Bane has, and like he's got these scars, and also like the veins, the green veins has in his body is in the shape of a bat on his bat, which is such a cool little detail. Man, what a book!
Yeah,
what a book!
It has been so. It's so incredible. Like, you need to read the rest of the Absolute stuff too, because the Absolute stuff.
I do.
That's the other books I'm forgetting. Absolute Superman. That's the other one I'm pulling. And that has been a really great book as well. But Absolute Batman, man, there's something about it that's just so different. I've said before, it is the most Batman book you can ever read.
So Batman, yeah.
But somehow it works.
Yeah.
It's not, it's like over the top Batman.
Yeah.
But it's incredible.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about the annual, or you want to talk about issue 17 first?
Do you want to? Yeah, let's talk about the annual. And before we get into 17, I think we need to cover Joker too.
Okay.
Joker as a character is whoa.
Okay. Yep.
But the annual, so there was a lot of controversy. It was annual, or at least people online were saying there was controversy because it was the story overall is that in the annual, Batman fights the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, and we see Batman. This is kind of an older story where this is some of his first,
maybe year one.
Yeah, this is maybe year one Batman, and you see him killing, and he kills somebody, and a lot of people were upset about that because they're like, Batman doesn't kill like this. But again, this isn't the normal timeline. So in my opinion, if it's not the normal timeline, do whatever you want.
Right.
Go crazy, because at that point it doesn't matter. But I think I want you to just go ahead. So I read it today. You read it fresh. You got it on.
Yeah. So I had read a lot of the comments, what people are saying, and people are saying it's political, it's making a message, it's propaganda, and I'm like, well, then I'm not going to read it because I don't want an agenda shoved down my throat.
Right.
That's not why I read comics. I read comics to escape from
Right. Exactly.
So I'm like, I'm not going to read it. But you said, dude, read it.
Yeah.
You need to read it.
Yeah.
And so I did, and I remember one of the comments saying, I don't actually think he killed that guy.
Mm.
And reading the issue, it's possible.
The art really emphasized how
But it's possible he didn't kill the guy.
it is. Yeah.
However, if he killed him,
Mhm.
I think it makes the theme of the book 10 times better.
Yeah.
Because in the issue, you have this priest, and this priest is ministering to what I would call like an immigrant camp. And you have these minorities here, and the Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Nazis, they come in and they're basically ready to kill all these immigrants.
Mm.
And this priest is giving his life. These neo-Nazis, these KKK people, they attack Bruce before he's even in the Batman suit. He's just Bruce. And they attack him, they beat him up, and the priest throws down himself on Bruce to protect Bruce.
Mhm.
And he says, I've known you, he's saying this to these people, I've known you since you were kids. This is what you want to do. Leave this man alone. Let me take care of him. And he takes Bruce back to his place, fixes him up, heals him a little bit. And essentially the priest is like, why would you do that? And Batman says, I have my way and you have your way. As he holds a picture of probably like the civil rights movement where the priest was involved. And the priest is saying, there's a better way. We don't have to do this. And Batman's like, no, this is the only way. This is the only way to stop people like that. And there's a flashback with his dad. Why would bad people do bad things? And Thomas says, we can't control it. We can't control people, blah, 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 blah. And Bruce just doesn't understand this. So as he sees these neo-Nazis, these KKK people, he goes to the immigrant camp and he just beats the snot and kills this guy,
Yeah.
Out of all these members. And it's important that I think he kills this guy.
Yeah.
Because this establishes what I think Absolute Batman's no-kill rule.
Mm-hmm.
But another moment is Bruce is ready to kill the leader of this group.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's ready.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not playing.
And the priest throws himself on top of this man and says, no, no, leave him alone.
Yeah.
And he's fixing up the arm that Bruce broke. And Bruce says, why are you doing this? This man basically deserves to die.
Mm-hmm.
And the priest looks at him and he says, you have your way and I have mine.
Yeah.
And Bruce leaves. And what's so good about this story is that it's not revealed until the end, but the person that was next to the priest in the civil rights photo was Bruce's dad.
Yeah.
And he remembers his dad's words saying, there's a better way to life than just evil.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue ends with just Bruce crying.
Yeah. In the bat suit.
In the bat suit.
Yeah.
In front of the new Batmobile.
In front of the Batmobile that's not yet the Batmobile.
Right.
Yeah.
And I particularly love that issue as someone who teaches the values of Christ, who teaches the Bible, who has a podcast on this stuff, because I'm just like, that's faith.
Hmm.
That is living out the words of Jesus.
Yeah.
Do unto others as you would do unto them. I mean, there's so much giving his life, sacrificing his life. Bruce could have easily just said, okay, I'm a 500-pound dude. Kill you both.
Yeah, he could have just picked up the priest, threw him, and just stomped the other guy. Yeah.
But he still gave his life for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deserve it. And I think in this, it gives us, not to make this a religious podcast,
Right.
but this gives us a shadow of Christ.
Yeah.
We don't deserve salvation.
Yeah.
We don't deserve any of this. But Christ still gave his life for us.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. I loved the annual.
Yeah, I also, because I bought it because I was at the point where I was like, I had to buy all these issues and all these covers, and the one I was missing was the annual. I bought it, and I didn't want to read it at first because I had heard all the stuff, and I'm just like you, I don't really like to mix, politics and stuff like that in my entertainment. But I was like, I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna give it a chance. Everything that I've read of Absolute Batman has been awesome. I'm gonna give this a chance. And the art was insane.
Yeah.
I think there's some really great. There's one splash page that I love so much. It's when one of the the KKK members is getting ready to do his arm up in the air, and mid sentence of saying what people say, Batman grabs his arm and breaks it. That just and it spins it backwards, and it's like, whoa, like it's a page turn. It's such a great page turn. Just the brutality of absolute Batman, because he's so brutal. But the message of the story of just like, Batman, if he did kill this person, and how he's dealing with that, and how, he learned this little lesson of like, okay, like
Life is valuable.
life is valuable. It's my job to, you have your way. You have my, like that sentence that the priest said at the end was just like, it was just a small, like this priest was very small compared to Batman.
Oh yeah,
He's tiny. He's so tiny. But in that moment, while he's kneeling down tending to this person, it just like, he seemed so much bigger. I don't know. It's just, it was just, in reading it, it was just like, wow, like that's a really good story. I don't know.
like even looking at the way Daniel Warren Johnson, who wrote and illustrated the issue, you look at that panel, and I almost think it's intentional, because the priest's body over this man, caring for this man, is bigger than absolute Batman, who's kind of in the background.
Yeah.
Like it's intentional.
Yeah.
And it never once felt overtly preachy.
It did not. No.
And that's a good comic book.
That's
Great storytelling too.
It's insane storytelling. And again, I love when heroes have to again, Batman is a no kill, but like he killed someone. If he killed this person, and like him sitting there crying, like I've never seen Batman in the bat suit crying, especially not absolute Batman. Right. Total badass. Like, right. Seeing him, like, it's just like you've never seen it before, and it doesn't feel wrong, but it's like if you've ever seen your dad cry, right? That's a weird thing that you're just like, whoa, like I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Seeing that with Batman, it's just this moment of like, wow, like this is a real feel. Like, I don't know, it's very good time.
Yeah, you see somebody who's invincible, larger than life, and you see their humanity.
Yeah.
And that breaks you. Like I read it, and I think I literally said, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, even the backup stories were great. But the primary story is what like people just blew up about.
Yeah, and people blew up, and again, I think people on social media are gonna read it and not. I think people just flipping through it and seeing that that's what it is. Right. And just like, oh my gosh, this is another thing. And like give it a chance. And I think giving stories a chance and looking at it from an open perspective and a biased perspective without any mindsets involved, just looking at this story, you can just be like this hero learned a lesson, and seeing that, and then you're going to feel that throughout the rest of the book. But also, speaking of big people and humanity, there's one big person in this universe that has no humanity, and it's Jack Grimm, also known as this universe's Joker. And oh my gosh, what a monstrosity.
Yes. So real quick, I want to mention issue 16, where Joker, like the backstory, what was crazy to me, like
it's 15.
15. Okay, 15. Like there was no lead up and there's no follow up, but it's like a teaser. And everybody wants to see Absolute Joker because he's been teased throughout the series. And at first, issue 1, they're like, he's called the Joker because he never laughs. And you see him just briefly. And you see him a little bit throughout here. But this issue is where you see him in his fullest.
Yeah.
And what I loved is there's 3 times, I think, that the story is repeated.
Yeah, you get the story 3 times.
But it's a different take, because nobody knows really, is he human? Is he a demon? Is he just a wicked man?
Is he immortal?
Is he immortal?
Yeah.
Like you get these different perspectives and we don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it like even more intriguing.
Yeah.
And I know I have seen it on YouTube where people have joked, they're showing all Batman has rogues.
Yeah.
And they get to this Joker form and Batman's like, I'm not a priest. I need an exorcist for this.
In this book, in issue 15, what was so cool about it was it tells those stories of this kid who has always kind of, because in this universe it's opposite. So Joker is rich,
right?
He's a billionaire. He is the Bruce Wayne of the original Bruce Wayne, he light up the same kind of vibes, and he looks human. When you first see him, he looks normal. He's a very handsome, attractive man. You know, he's very put together. One of the first big things that clicked with this issue, or that clicked with Joker as a character, was in issue 11, where it's the Bane issue, and it's kind of like a what if issue, but it's also got some realistic stuff in it. It's not. It's actually that's actually my least favorite issue of really Batman out of all of it, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
But there's a point where Bane is talking to Jack on an island, and someone mentions, it's like they're telling the story. He mentions that when he saw Joker, and Joker had all these girls, like, you know, these Playboy girls and stuff like that around him, that all of their stomachs were moving. And I thought, like, I read that and I was like, ooh, I don't like the.
Yeah.
What are you? Because like you're already like, what is this thing?
Right.
And especially whenever you saw the leak, when it finally leaked out, or it didn't leak, Scott posted the cover of issue 15, and everybody's like, whoa, this is different. But you get to see at the end of the book that Joker, he breaks out into this big monster form, and he on this island, and there's some guy who sees him and he's like, oh my gosh, and he starts running away, and then you see him transform, and he's got teeth inside of teeth. Like he has 3 mouths within each other.
Right.
And then you see his back like crap upwards as he's like expanding, and just all these like this awful imagery, and then you finally see him, and it was just this like, whoa, like Joker is terrifying.
Let's explain the stomachs moving. Like, what does Joker do with those babies?
Help me. Oh, yeah. So that was the other big. I forgot about that one. In issue 6, that's when we got our first real look at Joker, sort of. He is sitting in a chair, and he is Jokered, but not monstered.
It was like silhouetted, so you can't really see everything.
He looked like normal Joker in your face, though, but he is covered in baby corpses, and they're hanging all over his shoulders, and he's just sitting there, and that's the first thing you see.
Right.
I was just telling Elise about it, and I was like, that's just terrifying. Like, that's a villain.
Right.
That's an evil villain.
Yeah.
He's kidnapping babies, and he's using their bodies to like do something, because we don't know what it is yet. But my girlfriend actually, she made a comment about like, what if it's like stem cells? Because don't you get stem cells from?
I think you can get stem cells from. Yeah, I think the preferential one is from babies, but I could be totally wrong.
But like, what if he's having? Because again, none of this is confirmed. We don't know any.
Right.
But like, what if he's taking the stem cells from these babies and taking them into his body to maintain his human form?
Maybe.
He's also a cannibal. He eats people.
Right.
He ate the guy on the island.
Right.
So there's so much going on with this character that's just like, oh, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Joker is the Batman villain. So I think that it's going to be really cool to see them fight. And how do you kill somebody who's immortal? How do you stop somebody who's immortal?
Yeah.
And I think the lesson that we saw in the annual will have to eventually apply to the Joker here. Will Batman actually learn his lesson to stop this horrible evil? Will he kill again?
Yeah.
Or what will he do?
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't know who he is. We don't know his purpose. Like, we don't know any of this. And I think Scott Snyder is intentionally doing that. Like, he is not going to let us know anything else about the Joker for many more issues.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the previews for issue 20. That's as far as we've got so far, because that's the what I think is the Robin.
The Robin cover, yeah. I feel like it's that's not the full issue. I feel like the cover's redacted a little bit.
You think so?
I think so, but I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But everybody seems to think it's Robin. I don't know. But after reading 17, also, I guess, do we want to go ahead and get it?
Let's go ahead and get into it.
17 was awesome.
So 17 was good.
My one complaint that I had going into this book that I was proven very quickly, because Poison Ivy is the main villain of this issue, and we're finally getting to meet her. And on the cover, she looks like normal hot Poison Ivy. And at first, I was like, I wish she wasn't hot, because in this universe, everything has been terrifying.
Everything's not hot.
Everything is not hot. Yeah, everything is like, Mr. Freeze is terrifying. Mr. Freeze over here looks like a freaking Wendigo. And then you've got Bane being the size of the Empire State Building. And then Joker is a demon thing. And like, everything is just like all over the place. But then with, I was like, oh, but Poison Ivy's hot.
Yeah.
That's kind of, oh man, boo. Like, I was expecting something scary. Well, when I got through the issue, I learned really quick that she is not hot.
Yep.
She is very not hot.
I was taken back
Mhm.
that it is not, it is the mom, not the daughter. Did you catch that?
I don't think I caught that.
There's a line in there where I think Alfred is saying it. He says something like, Pamela Isley has been dead since she was 25 years old. And never once in the issue does Pamela or whoever's writing the journal say mother passed away. Because in the issue, it's Ivy, and she's explaining why she's called Ivy because she, whatever. And her mom ends up getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing this research with plant cells, with animal cells, with fungi cells to figure out how to cure her mom's disease. Well, never in the issue, unless I'm just totally mistaken, does it say mom passed away, mom died. I wasn't able to say mom or any indication. And then there's that line from Alpha that's like, so this is the mom, this is not the daughter, which would kind of make sense because if she is injecting her mom with these things, maybe she's, this is what she is. Yeah, take a look at it.
Comic real fast. Because the way I interpreted it was,
Okay.
I thought that she was like not showing life signs anymore. Like I thought that she was dead, but not dead.
Okay.
I thought it was that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And because in the journal at the beginning, right, it says Ivy's talking about how her mother took her to the building, right, the heart of the city, and she said like mother was sick, but she didn't tell me yet.
Right.
But then also when I'm trying to think, then when we see Poison Ivy, I don't know, because the journal follows
The daughter. Right.
or like at least the images that go with
Right.
But let me flip through here.
Yeah, go ahead. And while you do that, that's just the indication I heard. And again, I could be totally wrong, or you could be proving me wrong right now, and that's totally fine. But nonetheless, I thought the issue was great. I thought the reveal of Ivy's true form, because they kind of tease you a couple times. Okay, so this is her form.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is her form.
Yeah.
Oh, this is it. Yeah. Yeah. But it was really cool to see like Bruce just kind of go in there and he's like saving everybody. But then it's like flashing back between his life and kind of like what's happening in present day with Ivy. And I thought it was neat to see him go visit his friends that Bane has messed up.
Yeah, Bane has absolutely destroyed freaking
Harvey Oswald, Enigma, who will eventually be the Penguin, Two-Face, and the Riddler.
yeah.
Um,
Now, real quick, it does say here, it says when she's going to the Hart building, in the corner it says, "I'm coming for you, mother, I promise."
okay.
So I don't know. I think it, but it could be. She could be like reviving,
Like a part of her.
Yeah, she could be like. I don't know. It's kind of
It's
not clear yet.
yeah.
We're not there.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. I mean, this just came out as of we're recording today.
This is fresh. This is off the press.
Right. So we've still got a lot to kind of figure out about that. But to visit them and for them to not want anything to do.
That was wild. Because in the last issue, in issue 16, Bruce goes to visit Oz, and Oz is like his whole body has been deformed. Bane broke every bone in his body, didn't damage a single organ, but broke every bone, and now he is just this ugly. I mean, it's kind of sad. It's actually shocking when it showed it for an hour's time. But all of his friends are very much against Bruce right now, and they're all very like, you failed to save us, and this is your fault. Not blaming Bane, the guy who actually beat them all up or anything.
Right.
Let's blame Bruce. But yeah, so all of this stuff is going on, and also Bruce goes to the hospital, and they mention about Harvey, because another complaint I had was like, oh, Harvey is just normal Two-Face, but the nurse mentions that his head was split in two. and they were shocked that he was even alive.
Right.
So, because I was hoping, because I had actually thought like, oh, that'd been cool if his face was just like evaporate or something weird. But like, you know, because again, this is the absolute universe. Everything's scary.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm very eager to see all these other villains, but like Oz is looking, you know, still peeking out the window as Bruce walks away, and Bruce is saying like, I'm gonna come back again and again and again and again, and you're never gonna get rid of me. I'm here for you.
And he's like trying, and that's so much different from like main universe Batman,
Yeah.
because main universe Batman unfortunately has this bad rep of being like, the mission comes first. I don't really care about anything else. Right. You know?
Yeah.
And this one cares about it. He cares about his friends. And not saying that main universe doesn't care about his friends and his family, but this one, they've deliberately gone out of their way to show how much he cares. And the reason why, one particular thing that stood out to me about this issue is there's a scene where Bruce is walking away and you see 3 different things that are currently happening as well.
Yes.
You see the Joker story, even though he's just as himself, he's the human form.
Yeah, he's at a party and, you know, being Jack Grimm, all right. Yeah.
And then you have Harley Quinn, who is wanting Batman's help.
Yeah.
And her people are kind of going against that, saying we don't want to work with the Batman. And then you have what I think is going to be the most interesting story. You have Dick Grayson, who will, in the main universe, become Nightwing, become Robin, and then Nightwing. Right. But then here, it looks like he's a nurse. And he's saying the people have fallen behind Batman, and they don't need to. That he's not a good symbol.
Yeah.
Not a good hero. And that's going to be interesting.
Right.
And that's why I think the next issue 20 will be Robin.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the ending of issue 17? With Martha and the Court of Owls.
I thought that was I thought that was interesting. So she, because I saw Jim is trying to hit up Martha. They kissed, and Bruce is walking out of the room, and he's like, oh shit. Batman just walks out, not even thinking about it or paying any attention to it. And Martha is a part of the Court of Owls, which is because they referred to something that happened a couple issues prior. Did Gordon want her to run for election, or what?
I think so. Was mayor or something?
I think so, yeah. Because she was like, I've thought more about like your offer, is all she really said in this. And then he kisses her, and then Bruce is like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, and in this issue, she even tells Gordon, like, you don't know the things that I have done.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could be a very interesting.
Can you explain what is the Court of Owls? I've not read that story. Sure, it's a story I haven't read.
So if I'm remembering correctly, the Court of Owls is basically this organization within Gotham, and they are the rich, the elite, the powerful. And they hide behind the, I'm sure you've seen like the white mask, the owl mask, and they have these assassins called the Talons, and they're basically, I would essentially call them like super soldier assassins. And but anyways, they influence like the future of Gotham, and they kind of control things behind the scenes. And they're this ancient order that's been there. And what I know, I only know about the Court of Owls, and I kind of only know this little bit because I read New 52 Nightwing, and that's a very big part in that. I did not read Scott Snyder's New 52 Batman. I read bits and pieces, but I never it's been so long since I've actually sat down and read this. But that's from my understanding, the Court of Owls. This is ancient order that controls Gotham in every way.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bohemian Grove in real life.
Yeah.
It's the Bohemian Grove of Gotham City.
Actually, supposedly at Bohemian Grove, they worship that giant statue of the owl statue. So their whole symbol is an owl. That actually could have been inspiration.
Could be. But I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
My favorite part about this book was you really see the weight on Bruce. Like the deal with his friends is bothering him. And even Waylon, the last issue 16, he teams up with Wonder Woman to go to this specific part of hell. Great issue. It was such a good issue to grab this thing to give to Waylon that will hypothetically turn him into a human, in theory, right? It'll turn him back, because it said like, what has 2 legs will now have 4. What has 4 will now have 2. And, Waylon, Killer Croc, is on all 4s.
Right.
And he gives him the stone in that issue. In this issue, he goes back in the sewer and Killer Croc tied his ship. So, Bruce is like, well, this would normally mean that he's getting bigger, but I'm going to choose not to believe that.
Right.
Which is kind of like he's just hoping for something good, which again, in this universe, there's nothing good.
Right. There's no hope.
There's no hope. So Killer Croc might be getting bigger, and there's been tensions, but Bruce is trying so hard to say. I think out of all of his friends, Waylon is the one he's trying the hardest to save, because he's living in a sewer, and because when he first meets Killer Croc, Waylon wanted him to kill him.
Right.
He was like, I have this hunger it hurts. Please just kill me. And Bruce was like, I can't kill you. I can't do this. And which goes into the annual again.
Right.
But so Bruce is trying everything he can to fix his friends, but his friends are now turning him away.
Yeah.
So and Scott did a great job in this issue, kind of keeping on the main story,
Right.
and going back and forth. But also with Ivy stuff, it kind of just went straight into it.
Right.
We got Chainsaw Man, Batman,
With the flamethrower.
yeah,
on there.
flamethrower and chainsaws, and he's just in there like, I'm in, like I'm going full in, which is so cool. It's hey, look, let's get into this. But going back and forth between those stories, Scott's been doing that a lot in this series. And I think that's a really good decision.
Yeah.
I think that's been, because you can follow both stories, but you're like feeling emotions very consistently. And
That's what Ultimate Spider-Man should have done.
exactly what Ultimate Spider-Man should have done. But man, Absolute Batman, I'm so pumped. I'm very much into this book. And I can tell you this is a Beyond the Pull List book. Yeah, sure, because I'm buying all the variants. I'm waiting for the action figure to come out. They dropped the Hot Toys. I really want to buy it, but it's $400 and it's expensive. I bought the trade. I have both trades and all the singles. I'm bankrupt. I'm running out of money.
For sure, Absolute Batman is beyond the pull list for me. What I would recommend for you to put on the pull list would be Absolute Superman.
Okay.
I strongly recommend that. Maybe we can get into that next time, because Absolute Superman came out 2 weeks ago. So, we'll try to catch up when we do the next episode. Maybe I can go over that. And the other book that we talked about today, Ultimate Spider-Man, if I would have known how it was going to start and finish from the very beginning, it would have been off the pull list instantly.
Yeah, I think Ultimate Spider-Man it's right in. I think to me, it's in the middle of off the pull list and on the pull list. I think it's very much, it's interesting. Like the art is great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. And we really didn't cover a lot of actual issue 24.
No, I guess we did.
The main premise of 24. I guess that's it. Absolute Batman dive over. Yeah, 10 out of 10 book. Go buy it. They also, if you're just getting into Absolute Batman and you're trying to pick it up, they are reprinting it constantly and selling out very much. I know first prints are selling for like $700, and it's really crazy. But you can get a second print, a 10th print. You can get the trays. The trays are coming out. Volume 2 just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your local comic book store and see if you can pre-order those if they don't already have a crap ton of them. It's not like I went to Nirvana and they have a whole wall of just praise, because then they literally said like, we can't keep it. It sells out over and over again. So, and what does that tell you, Marvel? Right. Absolute Batman's selling out. Let Scott Snyder cook. Let him do what he wants, because at this point he is killing. Yeah, he is just, it's what we fans want. But in regards to Ultimate, issue 24, it starts off with Peter is fighting Wilson Fisk and Mr. Negative, who were already about to fight for some reason. And he's fighting them, and Venom, or Richard Venom, is with Black Cat trying to sneak in to implant this chip to stop the Maker, because that's a priority all of a sudden now.
I took it as because Peter, you're right. They are stopping the Maker, because Peter has the device to stop Kingpin's implants, which make him more powerful. Yes, right. Okay.
But they were going to do, because Otto Octavius was like, we need to destroy the Maker.
All of a sudden,
because the next book's going to come out, and we got to do this real quick.
Yeah.
And so they're in there, and Venom's out again. It's cool to see Venom again. but we didn't get a lot of it. But their security measures kicked in, and it was like an anti-venom sort of thing, which was a cool little cameo. It was cool to see. But it seems like every time you see Venom, it's the same pose, and it's the same thing. The whole kind of monster are all four. Yeah. But after Peter defeats Fisk and gets down to where Richard is, it seems like, Richard jumps out of the suit and is going on foot to plant this thing, and then some of the anti-venom grabs him, and it seems like all hope is lost. And then all of a sudden Peter's down there, and then him and Black Cat are kissing, and everything's fine.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then the rest of the issue was just conversation.
Right.
It was just conversating, and it was just getting through all this stuff again of like, oh, everything's fine, and well, Harry, if you need anything, just let me know, and well, me and MJ are moving back in, and we're figuring things out, and everything's fine, and the book's over now.
Yep. Yeah. Man. I just wanted so much more.
Yeah, I did serious. And the art, again, the art good. The art's good. Don't hate the art. The cover, I think the cover for issue 24 is probably the best cover in the whole series.
Yeah.
But it just
and I have no, I have no hate towards Jonathan Hickman, because Jonathan Hickman, again, has written incredible stuff.
Yeah.
My blame for the failure of this book is Marvel editorial.
I agree, because that's been the big thing with Spider-Man in general, and also another book that we're going to cover here probably in just a few minutes. I'm not excited to talk about at all, which is shocking. It's Marvel editorial really rushed the ending of all these Ultimate tie-ins because they wanted to do Ultimate Endgame and kill off the Ultimate Universe just to bring it back later is what's happening.
It seems, my biggest problem with Marvel is because the MCU is so big. This is really a topic for another time.
Yeah.
But the MCU is so big that they build their comics around the MCU rather than building the MCU around the comics.
Exactly. And actually here in the last few days or so, they actually just announced a new Spider-Man Brand New Day comic written by Dan Slott, because this year Spider-Man Brand New Day, the movie, wow, crazy. And I think that is, when I saw that the title of the finale of the Ultimate Universe was Ultimate Endgame, I was like, come on. And it was the cover was Endgame movie poster with all these characters. It's again, make your comics and people will come read those, not the other way around. And I just think, I don't know, I hate that Marvel's doing that. And it kind of feels like, which we'll get into this too later, it just feels like Marvel is trying to set up events as hype, and is trying to build hype for these things to get people to, for sure, but is not actually putting anything into these events.
Yep. Marvel has this bad problem of doing events, multiple events every year.
They do a lot of events.
And I'm not, you've known me for many years. I go back and forth. Sometimes Marvel's great, sometimes DC's great. I feel like I just go with whatever is just great at the time. And DC doesn't do events nearly as often, but when they do events, man, they are so good. Like right now, DCKO, reading on DC Infinite, honestly, if I would have known how good this series was going to be, it would have been on the pull list for me.
Yeah.
Because it is so good, but it ties into the Absolute Universe stuff. And that event is just so good.
Yeah.
You are hooked. And I think that's because DC doesn't care what DC's movies have flopped.
Yeah,
for the past many years, except for Superman, which you need to watch because Superman is great, phenomenal. And the Batman, I do need to watch that. Yeah,
good. Or you haven't seen it?
I haven't even seen it yet.
It's good.
We're gonna have to watch it.
Part 2's coming out.
Yeah,
are you ready?
Actually, Superman 2 and Batman Part 2 both come out next year.
Whoa.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good year.
That's gonna be a good war.
Both gonna be droll.
Yeah.
hopefully all of our books that we do like are still gonna be good by then. Well, I don't know yet.
But no, I think you're exactly right. I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man, it's just,
and I want to give this. I really want to look at this book and say, this is an on the pull list book. Like, hey, get it and just check it out. But I didn't enjoy it.
No,
the art is pretty. I enjoyed the art. There's some moments that I enjoyed, and the first few issues were really good.
I'm right there with you.
And everything else was just here is all this information that's not going to really be important.
When we were first talking about this, it made me think of, there's a lot of comments, a lot of articles going on where Netflix says that in the scripts for their movies now, they want you to repeat the plot about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
That is what this book felt like.
Yeah. It's called, it's called second screen viewing, and it's the whole point of the Netflix thing is that they're trying to do that so people can still play on their phones and also keep up with the TV show. Right. It's usually good for like if you're doing house chores and you have a game show on, you're listening, not really sitting and giving it your right attention. But with shows like Stranger Things, which that really hit Stranger Things this time in the last season, it does not do good. And I think this has that because it's just. It felt like Jonathan Hickman was just really like, I need all this information to be placed, right? So you know what's going on, but all you're getting is information, right? And it's like, but then like nothing goes on, so like, you're missing the story you want, but you're seeing the story that's like, oh, this is important, this is good extra stuff. But I'm not getting the main story. So
now I don't want us to go too terribly long for our audience,
right? Yes, yeah, we're cooking a little long.
We are, but I do want you. I'm going to unleash the beast right now, and I'm going to let you talk about the worst, not even worth toilet paper series right now.
I told Clayton, as I don't know if people know this, but Clayton is actually his wife is getting ready to have a baby. He's getting ready to introduce a child into this world, which is really exciting. I've made a lot of jokes about how at their gender reveal, that I would just be in the corner burning Venom books just for the sake of burning it. And people are like, well, it's just orange. What's the gender? And it's like, this is personal. Don't worry. And he's made videos of it and everything. It's been really funny. But yes, we are also getting into Venom. And I appreciate for you letting me release the beast. I'm going to tame as much as I can. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to be bad. But I've currently read up to issue 251. We are now at issue 254. I tried to read 252 today before you came over, and I could not get through it. It's so bad. And I like Venom previously, right now it's being written by Al Ewing. Before Al Ewing wrote it, it was written by Donny Cates, and Ryan Stegman did the art, and that was the best 4 years of my life. It was nonstop Venom mania content of awesome. And we have lost the plot, brother. We have lost all of it. It's, as you know right now, Venom is the new host of Venom, or as they're calling it, the all-new Venom, is Mary Jane Watson, which is just, there's potential there. And there's potential there, but Al is just not doing anything with it. And I know he's missing the number completely. And again, I got to the point where I quit reading this book because I was so upset with it. The last book that I read was issue 251, and it was they had all teased in 250 that Noel was coming back, and all that was to tease the solo series. Issue 2 did drop today, but I did not read it either because I tried to get through Venom first and I couldn't do it, and I was just like, I guess we're not doing Noel either. It's fine. But it's just awful. Yeah, like the tone of this book before had a similar tone to Absolute Batman. Actually, if you're reading Absolute Batman, the colorist on Absolute Batman was the same colorist that was on Donny Cates' Venom run. It's Frank Martin. And he does some really color colorist. He's such a good colorist. Like I love that he does with white pages, he does this off-white thing. This stuff, green or a brown. Yeah, it's really cool. But Venom has just become this like kids book, and Mary Jane's Venom, and as of recently, this goes into Marvel editorial, right? I feel like this is going to be more of a Marvel editorial rant and kind of what Marvel's doing more than Venom. It feels, because for a while I've just been like, Al Ewing sucks and he's the one responsible for this. And if he hates this that bad, he should just drop it and do something else. Do Immortal Hulk 2. I don't care. Do something else.
See, our audience doesn't even understand the how. That's not even like you get on these rants so much that my wife, who has no idea about comics, understands. Do not bring up Al Ewing in front of Paul.
We'll be doing stuff and I lose it. But like recently I've been really trying to like look at this and be like, logically, what is happening? Because like, this is not good. None of like, I know Venom people. I'm in like a Venom Discord server where people talk about the stuff that's going on in books. And a lot of people, there's some people who like it, but there's a lot that don't. Right. And this really feels like an editorial issue. The same with like Ultimate Spider-Man is that, Venom used to have his own editorial, and now Venom's has been merged into the Spider-Man category, and that editorial is Spider-Man, Venom, and Hulk are the three in that, which is weird, but that's their little thing. And this book is just it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing going on. You get Venom, who is pretending that it's Venom with Mary Jane inside of it, pretending to be Spider-Man, and Thompson's in it, and he is Captain Spider, and he looks like the Winter Soldier when the Winter Soldier first became a person, like the crown button up, and the weird big gloves. It's just good, and it just, I don't know what the deal is with this book. It just, I could go on and on and on, but I'm blaming Marvel editorial because it really feels like they're trying to push this to kids.
Right.
Donny Cates' run was very dark. It was very adventure. It's very mysterious. Yeah. And this is just literally like, I told Clayton when he came over today, I was like, if this book had sounds that went with it, it would be like the Looney Tunes, like bonk sound effects and like the weird slide whistle stuff. Like it's awful, but the writing's awful. The words that he uses are very old words. It's like old people words.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, boomer, like let's move on. But yeah, this book is not good.
So the challenge then is, for the first time in your life, will you go off Venom?
This is a challenge. I've been reading Venom my whole life. I started buying the singles right at the end of Civil War II, right before Flash Thompson as Venom Space Knight got rid of the suit and it went to Lee Price. And that was when I started picking up books. I've been buying Venom every month since then.
Mm-hmm.
That's been since...
It's been a long
2016.
time. Yeah.
2015, 2016. Yeah, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
I've been pulling this book every month for 10 years. And I tried reading it today, and I've just been pulling it just for the sake of having a complete collection. I'm 30 issues away from having a full Venom run from 1 to now.
Okay.
And the past few issues that's come out, I buy it, I throw it in the box, and I don't touch it. I don't even read it. I look through it just because I don't care. And I'm like, what kind of stupid crap is he putting in the book this week? And it's dumb stuff. It's like, oh, Madame Mass is in this Iron Man suit, and they're gonna fight, and Paul's there. Oh, man, Paul. And MJ is just a nothing character. She's just a person. It's all awful. And if I was not the biggest Venom fan in the world, this would be a 100% off the pull list. I'm never picking this up again. It's a nothing book. It's garbage. It's for children. I don't want to read it. I don't think kids want to read it. It's just like it feels like old people trying to be into brain rot.
Okay.
And it's just bleh.
Yeah.
So whether I'm going to stop picking it up or not, I don't know.
So it's off the pull list, but not off the pull list.
Off the full list, but not off the pull list. Just because I want to have a complete set. But honestly, I went in Knoxville, there's this store called McKay's, and it's this big used bookstore, and they have a huge comic book section. And every time I go there, the all-new Venom section is full.
Of course it is.
Everybody is bringing it back and selling it there because nobody wants this book.
Yeah.
And I wish Al would give it up, but he is not going to let it go. He's not letting it go. And what's crazy is like he's wrote it since 2021, and it went on for a while, and it went on till last year. And right when the book was about to end, they announced the all-new Venom title, and it was a new #1. But it was still written by Al Ewing, and it was still drawn by the same person. It just was a new #1.
Just a relaunch, yeah.
And throughout this run, too, everything that's happening is just like bait to attract people. Like the first 5 issues was like, who is Venom? Like, is it Luke Cage? Is it this other obscure character that you don't know who is this? Or is it this other obscure character? And that's all it was. And then you find out it's MJ, and then it's like, well, Venom's going to look like Spider-Man now. Or no, it was Null's coming back. Oh my gosh, be ready for Null. And then it was just like one issue teasing the new series coming out. And then it was, well, Venom looks like Spider-Man now. What's up with that? You better read the issue to find out. And it's literally just like Al thought the design looked cool for this other What If book, and he put it in the book, and that's it. That's literally the lands. And then literally in this issue, she just goes back to being this gold Venom, which is, there's no purpose of this design. It's stupid. It's a dumb design. It's because Molten Man's blood had to be infused with the symbiote to save Eddie or something. I don't know. I don't care. But that's all the book has been, is like It's like, it's really it.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, I have bad FOMO of this. I'm afraid that the second I stop picking this up, it's going to get good.
Yeah.
Or something's going to happen. And it's going to be like, oh my gosh, did you see this issue? Everything's better.
Right.
But it's been so bad for so long, dude. I'm dying.
Yeah.
There's not enough alcohol to make me forget this book's existence. And I've tried. I've been at the bottom of so many bottles over the last 5 years and nothing. It's all the same garbage. So there's my review on Venom. I won't read it anymore. I might stop picking it up. I don't know. It's awful. It's like it's the extra category.
Beyond awful.
It's beyond the burn list. That's what it is. Like, burn this book and get rid of it. It doesn't need to exist. Garbage rat. All I had to say about that.
So I don't think we mentioned it in the very beginning of the episode, but this is just something fun for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to necessarily consistently post episodes.
Yes, we're not going to consistently post, but we're just going to kind of, whenever we get a good pile up of stuff to talk about, I think we're going to just meet and kind of
Aiming for maybe 2 to 3 times a month.
I think two to three times a month. Okay, good. Sure, yeah. Did you have any stuff on your polls that you want to talk about? Pulling other stuff.
I'm pulling other stuff, and next time I say I'll dive into it, to some other stuff, because, again, I don't want our audience to...
Well, how long are we in?
We are at an hour and 30 minutes.
Whoa!
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like it.
I'm a talker.
No, you're good. So I think next time I'll talk about maybe Superman, Absolute Superman, Captain America that's taken a dip in quality. I'll talk about those books next time.
Yeah.
Maybe, we'll talk about that next time, and I'll explain kind of what's going on there and how I feel about those.
Yeah, because it's Marvel's hitting all of us. It's, man, we've said in Ultimate and Venom, Marvel's got something going on and they need to figure it out quick because we're tired of it.
Yep. I may be an all DC collector before you know it.
Dude, I may be too. And that's saying something.
Yep, it is. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap?
I just want to say thank you all so much for listening. If you want to find us, you can find us on all the places where we have podcasts. And I'm so excited to be doing this. And keep listening. And if there's anything you recommend, if you're a listener and you want us to read something, if you have something you think that we would enjoy, or there's a lot of stuff to talk about, let us know and we'll be more than happy to dive into it.
Absolutely. No pun intended. But we absolutely, if you recommend something and you're like, hey, you guys are totally missing out on this fantastic Marvel book. And we'll be like, okay, we'll check it out. We'll read a few issues because that's our thing. We're going to be open-minded about whatever is coming across. So absolutely leave it in the comments wherever you can, because I think every podcast platform now has a place for comments.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
So I think that's, leave it there and we'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for listening. And you can find us everywhere podcasts are found. And we will see you next time.